Good morning, everyone. I wanted to give you an idea of something you can do with embroidery floss if you're not using it all for sewing and embroidery. So this crafting idea is probably for 5.5-year-olds and up. Okay, so what I did was I have 3 pieces of embroidery floss that I cut the length of the table that I'm working at. So one of my strings is purple, one is green, and one is blue. And you can pause at any time and go get those materials. You might also want some Scotch tape. And of course, you'll need a scissors. And that's about it. So if you want to pause and get those, you can. Okay, so if you're back with your materials, your 3 strings are about the length of the table, or maybe about the length of your arm. That might work too if you don't have a small table. Then you're going to take those 3 strings and make a knot at the top, just like when you're sewing and you knot your embroidery floss there. Okay, so I tied a knot at the top. You can see my 3 long strings on the bottom. I like to use a piece of tape to have it stick down to the surface because that helps it stay in one place while I'm making a bracelet, and that's what we're going to make with this embroidery floss. You can see I have one already started, but here's my new string, and here's my tape, and I'm just going to tape it down. Okay, so I'll move the one I already started out of the way so you can see what it is. And this style of bracelet is called a staircase, and I used to make these when I was a little girl, and I still enjoy making them now. Okay, so let's make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here's my bracelet. I have 3 strings. I'm going to start with the green string. So I'm going to separate the green string from the other 2 strings. So I have 2 facing down and 1 facing the side. Now I'm going to make what looks like a number 4 with my string. So I have my 2 strings down, and then I have 1 string part that made the number 4. Now I'm going to take the side of my number 4 and tuck it through the open part of the 4. And you'll see you have a little loop. Then I'm going to slide it up nice and tight. And I'm keeping these 2 strings tight and together. So one more time, I'm going to stretch it out into sort of like a number 4. So you can see this part of the 4 and then this part. It's kind of like a 4 or maybe a 9. And then I'm going to tuck it through the center of my 9 or my 4. And then I'll see that little knot that I made. I'm going to slide it up and keep these 2 tight. One more time. Make my little number 4. Tuck it through the center. Pull. And then slide it up. And as I keep going, you're going to see that a staircase starts to form. So I'm going to keep doing this with my green string for a little while. And when you keep going with the string, I'll show you on the one I already made, it starts to make a staircase and look like that. And I kept going and going with just individual knots, just the way I showed you, to make the part of my staircase. And then you'll notice in my bracelet it switches to purple. So let me show you how to change your colors. So say you're done working with the green and now you'd like to work with the purple. You pull the purple out to the side and you hold the other 2 together, and then you're going to make your number 4. Tuck it through that 4 or number 9, whatever it looks like to you, and slide it up. And then you repeat. You make your number 4 or your 9, tuck it through, pull up. One more time. Tuck it through and pull up. And a good key is to keep these 2 really straight so that they don't get wrapped up inside the knots you're making. And you just keep going. And then when you want to switch to blue, you would just pull the blue string away from the other 2, and you'd make your number 4, and you'd keep going and making knots. And as you continue, your bracelet will get longer and longer. And you can use whatever colors you like, and you can make them for yourself and your friends. And I'd love to see, if you make one, what they look like when they're finished. This is what mine looks like. What does yours look like? So I hope you have fun experimenting with that. Again, if you're 5.5 or 6, this will be a little bit tricky, but I think that you can do it. I hope you have a great day and enjoy some outside time and some inside time. Take care.